Welcome to the last day of February, February 28th, 2023. And there are sports and there's AI. There's both. And so we're doing a video today about sports algorithms. We're going to talk about NBA. We're going to talk about college basketball, fairly reasonable sized day in college basketball. And we're going to talk about hockey. And my instincts are usually terrible, although sometimes I do pay attention to hockey. So I sometimes know what I'm talking about when it comes to hockey. But in general, my instincts are bad. But the algorithm's great. And so that's one of the reasons why the algorithms are so great is because I am so bad at predicting what will happen that anytime I disagree with the algorithm, I'm usually wrong because I've set it to not have any human biases. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go over games, and we're also going to incorporate AI Bing because I have access to AI Bing. The mobile edition is the only thing that early adopters can have access to. So I have it. And it's a conversational AI. It's going to have a lot of fun. It's going to help us get more information quickly when we want to dig into what's going on in the games today. So let's start off with NBA because I've already glanced at it. And we're using combination number 62. I won't get into the technicals about running the macro and figuring out combinations, but I'm happy with this one. This has actually been the best one for the entire year, the year being 2023, just since January. This combo won 62% of its games, actually. So there's a lot going on in the college basketball file, but the basics are the team line over here is supposed to win. They're supposed to beat this team. We have projected scores of the game right here. You can see these are the money lines. So our order is sort of emulating the money lines with the exception of some games here. And this one, which we think is actually going to be close, even though the Mavericks have picked up Kyrie Irving. And he's not included in the season stats because he just joined the Mavericks a couple weeks ago. So, excuse me. So as you look at this, what comes to mind is, well, there are injuries here, and these injuries are on these teams that are underdogs. So this is making a lot of sense, meaning teams that are injured are getting underdog lines because they would barely win anyway, and they're hurting. So we can get some information, like let's get information on this game, and let's ask AI Bing, see what she has to say. She has a female voice. Who is injured and is it significant in the Portland Trail Blazers versus Golden State Warriors game tonight? AI Bing. See what she says.
Searching for Portland Trail Blazers versus Golden State Warriors injury report.
All right.
Hello, this is Bing.
Hey.
I can help you with that.
Thank you.
According to the latest injury report, the Portland Trail Blazers have 2 players on their injury list: Anthony Simons, questionable, and Cody Zeller, probable. The Golden State Warriors have 1 player on their injury list, Draymond Green, probable. Do you want to know more about these players or their teams?
Okay, Draymond Green is probable. They don't list these people as being out. So this is where, like, Steph Curry's out with that knee injury or something, right? Or ankle or something. So that I remember when that happened. I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma when that happened, and I heard it on the television in the Tulsa, Oklahoma Hollywood casino. I was picking up 24-year-olds. I was not picking up 24-year-olds, but kind of was, but I wasn't. Anyway, point is the algorithm is including these out people, which helps us more than what AI Bing gave us. Now we can rephrase this a little better, like just straight up. Who do you think will win in the Trailblazers versus Warriors game tonight? AI Bing.
Searching for Trailblazers versus Warriors prediction.
I don't like that lump. I want you to really read.
That's a tough question.
Okay.
Both teams have great players and coaches.
Okay.
However, based on the predictions from various sources, it seems that most of them favor the Warriors to win over the Trailblazers tonight. The Warriors have a better home record and a stronger defense than the Trailblazers. But anything can happen in basketball. What do you think? Who are you rooting for?
You're getting too much into me. All right. So that's that's pretty good. I don't like the current injuries are what make or break this today. So assuming that we know what we're talking about, because I think we do here with the algorithm, you can see that this is kind of scary even for the Jazz. But the Spurs are pretty bad. The margins are huge up here. So there's nothing really good up here line wise. You say like, well, how bad are the Thunder's injuries? Yeah, this is really super low margin. So I kind of agree with the odds makers, and the algorithm actually agrees with the odds makers on basically every single game here. It's saying the Pacers plus the points is a good idea because this is supposed to be a lot closer if you're subscribing to the Mavericks, a lot of their stats not having Kyrie Irving in there, but that's probably why this line is so bad and they're at home. So it's a tough day, you can see on here, but because of these injuries and close margins, these games are probably going to be fairly close. This game should be close. So betting the both side strategy, if you see me do any of those videos, is probably something to do on all of these lower margin games, just by keeping an eye on them. But it's a tough day to bet NBA beforehand. Let's go over to college basketball. More games. A lot of these games are not true home games. I have that on ESPN open, and I'm just going to highlight them really quickly. Arkansas State, Coastal Carolina. Come on. Really? Where are you highlighted? Coastal Carolina. So this game will highlight the home and make it red to show that it's not actually home. Oh, well, let me do that because of the other color code, right? That's true. We can't highlight this though, and we'll make them yellow. All right. So everybody who's not true home game. Other games: Bucknell American. Let's see if I can scroll. Bucknell American, not true home game. Holy Cross Loyola. Holy Cross Loyola. How fast are my eyes? Not fast. How Loyola? Let's try Holy Cross. Okay, down here, that's of course right next to it. There's IUP Robert Morris. That's going to favor Robert Morris at the top, right? Yeah. Robert Morris. Then there's Green Bay Wright State. I'm assuming because they're called something that they're not a true home game. I'm not actually opening up every game. I was going to ask AI Bing after this if she could list them all, but I don't think she'll be able to. But we'll try it. There's Wright State. That's not a true home game, I don't think. Purdue, Fort Wayne, Detroit Mercy. Purdue, Fort Wayne, Detroit Mercy. Bellarmine, Liberty. You can see there are a ton of them, and this is why it's important. Bellarmine just won a game yesterday. Now they're playing a better team in Liberty. North Alabama, Eastern Kentucky. I mean, it never ends. And I don't want to have to do this every day, but it's important when we click home teams that we see who's a true home team or not, because I can't give you good advice otherwise. So we have to do it. Eastern Kentucky. There's Queens is not going to be in here because they're not tracked. Lipscomb and Stetson. Lipscomb and Stetson probably in favor. Actually, I don't know who's going to favor in that game. Oh, yeah, it's close. Haha, I knew it would be close. Lipscomb. And then I think that's it. That looks to be, nope, Georgia State, Texas State. One more. Georgia State, Texas State. Where are you? The last one. We can never find it. Georgia. We can type either. Georgia State. Tech. State, Texas State. Right there. All right. So the ones in yellow are what we believe are neutral site games. Okay. So now that we know that, I just want to ask AI Bing real fast. Can you list all college basketball games that are at neutral sites today? I'd be impressed if you could.
Searching for college basketball games, neutral sites today.
What are you gonna do?
Sure, I can help you with that.
All right.
According to ESPN, there are 4 college basketball games that are at neutral sites today. Michigan State versus Gonzaga at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Armed Forces Classic on USS Abraham Lincoln.
All right, so I'll tell you what's going on. And we're shutting her up. I'll tell you what's going on there is that She doesn't know what day it is, and today does not work right. I don't know what day it's pulling or how it's doing that, but it doesn't know today for some reason. And so even if I tried, all right, one more time, I won't give up on her. She's gonna get better. You don't think Microsoft's watching this video? They will be. Let's go here. Let's try this. Hi, can you name all neutral site college basketball games for February 28th, 2023? Let's see, we pull it off now.
Searching for neutral site college basketball games February 28th, 2023. Hello, this is Bing.
Hey,
I can help you find some neutral site college basketball games for February 28th, 2023.
that'd be great.
According to my web searches, there are at least 2 games that fit your criteria.
Oh, there's more than that, honey.
Coastal Carolina Chanticleers versus Arkansas State Red Wolves in the Sun Belt Tournament at the Pensacola Bay Center.
Okay.
Arkansas Razorbacks at Tennessee Volunteers in Knoxville. Do you want more details about these games, or do you want to search for other games?
Search for other games. Search for other games. All the games, please. Today. Today ain't working, right?
Searching for college basketball games February 28th, 2023. Okay, I can search for other games on February 28th, 2023. According to my web searches, there are at least 4 more games that day.
No.
Marquette Golden Eagles at Butler Bulldogs.
Really?
San Diego State Aztecs at Boise State Broncos.
Huh?
Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs versus TBD in the D2 Women's Basketball
Oh,
Championship.
I didn't say men. Oh,
Florida
good.
Gators
You know
at-
what? They might have gone all woke on us, and it's not men. Maybe that's the problem. I'm going to stop messing with her because I know it's slowing the video down. But as you can see, she needs work, but she will get there. Now, so who did we play today? Well, I always say the same things, which is why you know this stuff works. Home teams, but the yellow ones are not true home teams. So it's the non-yellows, and we can filter by color, can we? No, I don't think we can filter by color with what I did here. So we just have to glance at it. So, well, what would we like to do is we sort by line value. More sort options, descending by line value to get the best lines. Those are going to pop up over here. Right here. Okay. And these are all home teams. So what's going on? Well, what's going on is Seton Hall, we would have to normally barely beat Villanova, but their injuries are 86%. So they're hurting. So that's why that's an underdog line, and that's difficult because you have an injury to deal with. Mexico State is a really bad line. Coastal Carolina is not a true home game, but we do have them winning by 6.6%. So I don't want to say they're an away team because everybody's an away team. It's neutral site. So it's not that you can't bet it, but they don't get that home bump, even though they will get the home bump if I type it in here, which is why I don't want to type anything in here. And I want to leave this as 0 because I want it to be more true. So they probably win, but they're not really home. Bowling Green State. So this is one that is a true home team. They're not very good at only a 30% team, but they are a true home team at 7% at only minus 160. So that one's probably pretty good. New Hampshire is 12%, but also not a very good team. But neither is NJIT, and that margin's pretty big, but that's minus 250. So that's okay. Then you've got a toss-up game that is not really in Stetson. So that's trouble, probably. I'd stay away, even though the line's about even money. This Loyola game, not really at home either, but they should win, but it's minus 200. San Jose State is injured, but so is Colorado State. And it's minus, this is a true home game, but the margin's really tight. Look how tight these lines are. Texas State against an injured Georgia State here. So it's not a true home game, but this team's injured. So that's not that bad. Then the lines start getting pretty awful. Tough. Everything's getting tough. That's the way it is. All right, so descending now. Now let's open up our away teams, because basically the only thing we saw here Oh, Duke over an injured North Carolina State too. See that? That's a true home game. I missed that one. Be careful here. This is probably Iowa because Indiana's injured. You got some probable winners here because injuries over here. Eastern Kentucky minus 390 against an injured team. Be careful with Tennessee against Arkansas because they are injured. All right, so those are the in that Bowling Green State is, as you can see, it's the highest one on the list with a reasonable line at a margin of 7. They're just not a very good team is the problem. So that is a caveat. When the team's power is low, I will tell you that they're not used to winning games. So I can see why that line is the best. Like, what's the best one with a team that knows how to win? Oh man. Wow, against Clemson. Clemson's been playing better too. And it's a really, really difficult board. Really difficult. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at the away games. I can't really give too much advice on home teams there. They're all in bad shape. So not a true home team here. And no home game here. So Detroit is not really at home. So this one's interesting. So Purdue Fort Wayne is plus 165, and this is a neutral site game, most likely. I could double click on the phone, but we'll just assume it is. You got 3 underdogs down here. Both these are actual true home teams here, so that's a problem. Big margins up to here, but the lines are bad. Although Texas A&M against Mississippi at 83%, that one's okay because you're over 20% margin and Mississippi's injured. So Texas A&M on a round robin is probably all right. Although I'm telling you, play an away team, so watch out. Yeah, tough. Super duper tough, right? Yeah, it's a tough day. But I mean, if there are going to be a lot of close games, which are going to be anything, and these tournament games are probably going to be close, kids are going to be fighting, that it's all these games you consider trying to play both sides, looking at how the lines change during the game. That seems like a more optimal strategy on a day like today. Although I said that it was a tough board yesterday and I did really well with it. So the algorithm just in its raw form did a really good job yesterday. We'll see if that continues, which it usually does. Now let's go over to NHL. So hockey, I've been paying attention, and the hockey's got, let's see here. All right, let's go in order of pick rank. Number 1, Boston, of course, over Calgary. They're playing, I mean, their goaltender is sniping from his own end. If you got to go watch that highlight of him scoring, let me tell you, as a hockey player, your goalie's got balls to fake like he's not going to shoot, then grab the puck and throw it directly over 3 opponent players that are at the hash marks to get enough on it and high enough to not have it blocked with a puck or even with a high stick, essentially. But anything, a high stick, they wouldn't be able to play off it and score. But a glove and to the same player, they can catch it and then come back and score in an empty net and tie the game up. You have balls to chuck that puck, then over another guy who was at the blue line. The puck does not hit the ice until like 15 feet inside the opponent's blue line, that goes right into the middle of the net. Disgusting. That's how you know your team is playing great. He's expected to go tonight. I mean, maybe he wants to add more offense to his team. We'll find out. But you can see that betting against the Bruins right now is a fool's errand. And even if they don't win, you probably got your money on the right team playing the Bruins. So if it's a different goaltender, they're still going to be favored. You can see it looks like, and look at how poor Calgary's been playing. They're going with Vladar because I talked trash about Markstrom. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Number 2 pick is Buffalo and Columbus. Excuse me. All right. Thinks Buffalo puts up a lot of goals against Merzlikins. He's got a bad goalie rating, so a lot of that makes sense. So Buffalo team goals or something there, or Buffalo to win. Seattle and St. Louis. Has Seattle. Both these teams not playing well though. So you're going with a team that's not playing great. I watched them get spanked by the Bruins, right? I think, or somebody else. Number 4 pick, Tampa Bay over Florida. Okay. Minus 165. Thinks they get to 7 goals. So I'm sure the over-under is set at something like that. Tampa Bay and Florida. Yeah, it's set at 7. Shaka. All right, but it does say Tampa Bay wins. Both these teams kind of playing mediocre hockey right now, though. Out of the break. Now, who else? Number 5 pick is Montreal over San Jose at plus 145. Kokkinen going against Jake Allen. It doesn't say they win by power, but it does say win by how well they've been playing. You put your money on Martin St. Louis there, you got an underdog. All right, that's Montreal. Number 6, Chicago over Arizona playing a back-to-back game. Does not say Chicago by win strength. So this is a conflict game. We're getting on some conflict games already. But Chicago had been playing better, but they just lost yesterday, right? I think they lost to San Jose yesterday. I'm pretty sure. Let's see, didn't they? Anaheim. They just lost to Anaheim yesterday. So I don't know, but it can happen. Although Anaheim's, I think, won 2 in a row. All right, next, number 7 is where? Right here. LA over Winnipeg, just barely. Looks like a tie. It's like an under and a tie if Hellebuyck plays well. Winnipeg has not been playing well, and LA mediocre. So you do get an underdog line in LA there. 7th pick. 8, Minnesota over the Islanders, but not by power. Super close game. Thinks it's going to be a tie. You can see that. A tie that Minnesota somehow pulls off in the OT, I guess, with Gustafsson playing well in net. That's believable. Look at the under in that game, right? Even though you got to watch out for a tie, it might be 3-3. It's 2-2, you win. New York, Minnesota is 5 and 5.5. Wow. Wow, look at that under. All right, number 9 is where? Right here. Nashville over Pittsburgh, but not Nashville. Look at how the algorithm's conflicting with itself. Basically, you got a lot of raw teams that would win, like Pittsburgh, except they haven't been playing as well. They did just put up a ton of goals 2 nights ago. So really tough game to play. Both, it doesn't really know. We're getting way down on the list here. Number 10 is right here. It is another tie between Detroit and Ottawa. Boy, day of ties. Today might be the day I bet a bunch of ties on a round robin, the regulation tie. It's always at like plus 300 or better. And when you bet the tie all the time, it doesn't hit. It hits about 1 out every 4 times anyway, it's a problem. But on a day like today, when the algorithm is doing this, because you can throw them all together for just a small wager, you can wager like $30 and spread it over this tie, this tie, this tie, this tie, and this tie. I mean, you got 5 of 1, 2, right? 3, 4, and 5 ties. So you spread a round robin out. A 5's a full round robin of all the different round robin combinations with 5s is 26 bets, I believe. Yeah, I think it's 26 bets. So if you put $1 on every one of those, that thing will pay. I mean, I can't even, like, I could do it on my phone just to let you know. I think I'll do that right now, just to show you nominally, because on a day like today, I'm going to do some live betting, obviously, and follow these games. Some of those winners I said at the top, because that's the last game we just went over there. So, like, for example, I'm logging in right now. I'll show you what this, I'm going to spread $30 over this, over these ties, and just show you, you only have to hit 2 or 3 to get your money. You'll make money at 3 for sure. You probably almost break even sometimes hitting. Well, you lose a little money just betting the 2s, depending on how you weight it. But I'm going to put $1 on every combination. So I'm going into NHL, and I just want to tell you how much this pays, because it is a fun thing to watch. So I go into the Detroit Ottawa game, and the regulation tie line, the 60-minute money line, it's plus 320. All right. So we got that one. Now we're doing is it Pittsburgh, Nashville? No, it's LA Kings and Winnipeg. We're going into that one. That one is plus 310. Then going into Islanders, Minnesota. That one's going to be the lowest line of all of them, I think. That one is plus 300. Yeah, because it sees such a really good goaltending matchup. Then I'm going to Chicago, Arizona, which is plus 390. And then Montreal, San Jose, which is plus 330. So I have all 5 of those on a round robin right now. And I'm betting there are 26 bets. Like I said, I'm betting $1 on the 2s, which is 10 wagers, $1 on the 3s, which is another 10 wagers, $1 on the 5s, and $1 on the 4s, and then $1 on the 5s. It's a $26 wager that pays, you guessed it, $4,097 if you hit all 5 ties. Now, you're not going to hit all 5 ties. If you hit 3 of them, you're absolutely winning money. And if you hit 2 of them, you are going to get a little more than half your money back, most likely. I believe that's the way that works. I think about even something like that. It's like 300 times 330 or something like that, or 390, depending on which games they are. So you could have a night and miss them all and whatever, but it makes for someone placing the bet right now. It makes for some fun watching late when you've like hit a couple of those and you're trying to hit the 3rd one or the 4th one. It's pretty fun late night because you're like, wow, I have, if you've hit 3 of them, you're trying to hit 4 at the end of the night. You're potentially winning like $1,000 on that $30 bet, just hitting 4 of them, probably even a little more than 1,000, probably about 1,200. So depending on which ones they are. So that's a fun thing, a $26 bet that was just made that I consider to be a fun bet, even if you lose, because you're whatever. So that's my advice, is a lot of live betting tonight because it's really tough before the game, but we will see straight bets on the Bruins and on Buffalo. It looks like it might be Buffalo team goals because of Merzlikins' really poor goalie rating makes me want to go after the goals for Buffalo there, or the over in this game. They're a high scoring team anyway. Makes a lot of sense there. It's going to be a tough line, probably over 3.5 is minus even for them, but it's better than minus 200. So we'll see how that works out. And then that was about it. All right. So good luck, everyone. That's the Tuesday podcast. Bing, she needs some work under the hood, but she'll eventually get it, and she'll be even better than the algorithms one day, and that will be the day. So good luck. May all your picks be winning.